Yeah.
So I have Jack Lyons. Is it Jack Lyons?
Jack Lyons, yeah.
Jack Lyons here. He's a plumber by trade, MMA fighter, and does a little bit or a lot of running as well. We're just going to talk about like mental health and the endurance he went through for his 50 and 50, and what else he's got coming up. But yeah, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm obviously, yeah, my name's Jack Lyons, and I'm a 22-year-old. I fight professional MMA. I've sort of had a bit of a career in that for the last 4 or 5 years. Since 2019 I went professional, and then I kind of, yeah, have always just sort of been a one to challenge myself, and recently, yeah, completed 51 marathons, 51 days, and yeah, that was every bit of what I thought it would be. But yeah, I'm just yeah, my name's Jack, and I love doing it, and,
Just
that's
another
hard.
so
That's
humble.
it. Yeah.
So we might as well go into the 50 and 50. So like what made you spark that, and then yeah, what came up with that? How did you come up with that idea?
Yeah, so I'd actually injured my hand, like a sort of, yeah, broke a knuckle in fighting, and I couldn't then have a fight. So um, previously I'd done a couple of little running challenges, the David Goggins one and another one similar, and I just loved the challenge of it, to be honest. Like the anything, like, it's physically and mentally hard, and I really enjoyed those challenges. So I'd seen that someone had done something similar, and there was a girl, I can't, I'm sure you've heard of her, but she was doing 150 when I was started mine, and I was like, I sort of seen what people have done. I'm like, I can do something big if I set my mind to it. So I, yeah, planned 50 for 50 a couple of months out. Got the ball rolling, up the training a bit, and then just said, let's just do it, and went for it, to be honest. So yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily I'm a runner, but I just put my mind to something, and off I went, and yeah, managed to get it done.
Yeah,
For sure.
easy as that, eh?
Yeah.
Did you pre like loading up? Obviously, you do lots of cardio and stuff with boxing, and your cardio would be there. Did you do like much long runs and stuff before, or what was like your training load like up to that?
Yeah, so like I said, I probably had done anywhere from 4 months. Like I often like to just go for a run, whether it's a 5K, 10K, or a half marathon kind of thing. Like I enjoy those runs, and I'd probably been running consistently, again, maybe anywhere 50Ks a week, probably 4 months out,
Yeah,
and then 2 months out I'd planned, all right, I'm actually gonna, like, this one started to come to fruition, and I was like, all right, well, I got to up my training, got to get used to the Ks somehow, roughly. So I did a couple of marathons. I did just like always just around the area. I haven't done one like a sign up one, but just would go for like a long run. And I did a 60K, and then just honestly, just sort of keeping it around. I would do shy of 100Ks a week. I don't have a coach, so I didn't really know how to do. Yeah. Yeah, I was like, I'll just run to feel, and yeah, sort of just kept doing what I was doing there, and then I did a back to back one of the weekends. Like I did a Saturday and a Sunday. I think was it just over a month out, and yeah, did the Saturday Sunday, and to sort of find what would work and what wouldn't. Like it was only 2 days, but just to see how I'd feel, and that was pretty good. And then yeah, again, just sort of upped it to 90 to just over 100Ks a week for the month leading in, and then yeah, a week out, I sort of dropped it and did that. But lots of strength training at the same time throughout all that, just knowing that I had to sort of build up some muscle and get some strength into the legs. But yeah, I knew there was going to be a big drastic like jump in load, but I did what I could to prepare myself, and yeah, we got there.
You can only do what you can do, up till the time, and then shit's gonna hit the fan at some point. It's got to.
Pretty. Yeah. Like,
were you fighting? Were you like training for fighting and stuff up through there, or not really?
Yeah. So I still would train every day, like or 5 to 6 days a week. And I'd planned to fight in November. That's why, I was doing that, and then I injured my hand, so I had to cut that. But I'd still train, do what I could, and then run like on the weekends or after and things like that. So yeah, I kind of just tried to jam it all in. Had a pretty jam-packed schedule, but yeah, I love it. So yeah, I was able to manage the worries.
What was like the hardest days? What did it? Because obviously there would have been days where you were just broken. I mean, maybe there wasn't, but so
it was definitely
like to hope there is.
Yeah, definitely. There was, you know, physically and mentally, there was the days that it was like, this is like next level. Like I fight, but the pain that I was in on like day 10 is just the day that pops in my head. That day was that hard. You know, tendonitis in both of my Achilles. My ankles were so swollen, like it was almost the size of my calf, like the whole way down. And then, you know, I got shin splints, toenails were falling off, blisters, the whole like knees were sore. Everything kind of below the waist was just a bit agitated and sore. And then, you know, obviously my mind is like in pain, my body's in pain. So my mind's like, why are you doing this? Like, you know, that was sort of hard. Like the day 10, I came out, tried to start running. I think I got maybe 400 meters in, and I physically couldn't run, you know. So I sort of hopped for the next 30 odd Ks and then ran the last bit. But sorry, my dogs.
No, you're all good. I have a dog too. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a struggle, but again, I knew, like my physio said, like it's a bit of the 40% rule, you know, like these dogs. But yeah, that it my body would adapt. So I had faith that it would. It definitely hurt, but I was able to get through that, the rough stage. Sort of 6 to 10 were the hard days for sure.
And were they like mentally draining? You were just like, I'm over this, or?
Yeah, exactly. Like I was clutching at straws. I was like, you know, calling everyone like I need some sort of pick me up. Like I knew like once I'd set out on something, I was going to get it done regardless of what. But those 4 days, 6 to 10, were a real struggle because, you know, everything started to flare up, and I was just like, I've never experienced anything like this. And mentally, it was about just keep my head in the game, which I did, and it was nothing like ever before, but I would do it all again.
Bloody effort. What was the purpose you did it for? Like there must have been some sort of motivator, or was it just for yourself?
Yeah, of course. So I did it for a local homeless charity as well, to raise funds for them. I've sort of, with the challenges that I'd done previously, I did the same thing, you know, something just around the area. Like I'd see homeless around there, and, you know, I would always want to do my part to try and help that. That was a heavy like motivator for it, of course. But also, just the challenge of being able to show myself that I can do what I set my mind to. I can push myself to, you know, those levels that you hear about or whatever. Like you can always find more. Like I wanted to be able to find that and experience that firsthand. So I definitely got my cut of that. But just the whole, obviously the charity was super important to me, and just also proving to myself that I can do what I set my mind to.
Like absolutely. I mean, you can do it for the charity or you want to, but it's still not going to drag you through at the end of the day. If you're 30 marathons in, you've got to mentally be able to get through, I guess. That's crazy. You're up there with like Dean Karnazes now. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he did 50 and 50.
I haven't.
Never heard of that.
Wow. I'll have to do some research. Yeah, it's amazing what the human body can do.
Yeah, definitely. Have you had like because obviously with the MMA background, it's a bit different to running. Has like any running people approached you or anything?
Yes and no. Like obviously, like people like yourself, you know, like-minded people. For sure, I haven't really. I wouldn't say. I've gotten like I spoke to, you know, Ned Brockman and Akana, the girl who broke the record for the most amount of marathons. And
I saw her. Yeah, that was this. Like it was obviously 150 days, so it's half a year, but it was going like when you were doing it as well. Yeah, she's quite a skinny girl. Yeah.
So I was going to plan one of my runs for her last run, and I didn't, unfortunately, happen. But then she was also going to join me on one of my last runs, but she was again got busy. But, you know, being able to like meet like-minded people, even like yourself, you know, like it's something that I really wanted to do, or something to come from the runs, you know, like I invited anyone or everyone to come run, ride, walk, whatever it may be, just get out and about and meet new people. So that was really an awesome benefit. And you know, another way to get myself, say, out of my comfort zone, you know, go and put myself out there, which was really good for the whole thing for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have anything in the pipeline that you'd do next? Like obviously your fighting career, I'll talk about that soon, but like with the running stuff, or I don't know, challenges?
Yeah, I'm actually funny enough. I just signed up today for my first. It was an Olympic size triathlon, so I've never done a triathlon. I wouldn't say I'm a swimmer. I'm definitely. I mean, it's a 1,500-meter swim. I don't know how I'm gonna go, but I just signed myself up, and I'll deal with that when it happens. I'll obviously train for it, but that's in a month. Or yeah, I reckon I'll hide them under there. That's in I think 20 something days. So I was like, let's just do it. But again, it's that challenge of whatever. That, and then just getting my hand right, and then getting back into fighting, because that's my passion. But I definitely, there will be, I'm sure, whatever comes next, maybe next year, the year after, whatever it is, I will be planning. I love the running, I love the challenge, so I'm sure there will be another big, and I'm sure I don't know, we've kind of always upped it, so whatever's bigger than 50 marathons, I'm sure I'll find something.
Yeah. And you do you like the mental challenge? Is that what you gain from it more, the mental like clarity, I don't know, you get in the moment or whatever?
Yeah, absolutely. And just the lessons, man, like I learned so many lessons about myself physically, mentally, like the whole, I really can do what I set my mind to if I can control it. Like it's not even necessarily for physical, but just for like anything to do with life, really, like just being able to get through it, which was super beneficial. But yeah, I definitely love the mental challenge and the grind of just every day and getting up and going and doing it regardless, rain, hail, shine kind of thing.
Yeah, that's mad. That's cool.
I love it.
What's your up and coming stuff for your fights? Like, do you want to talk a bit about your fight career? You got a record, obviously. I did like amateurs boxing, but not MMA stuff that I ain't getting grappled. But yeah, talk about your MMA career and how that started. So have you been doing it for years or?
Yeah, so when I used to play AFL footy down here just locally, and I kind of just wanted to try something new, so I gave that a crack. I was like, had never had a fight, been in a fight, whatever. I was like, I just want to be able to go and learn something completely new, and did that. And yeah, that was 2015. I had an amateur career from then to 2019, just having amateur boxing, kickboxing, and a couple of MMA fights. And then 2019, I wasn't able to really get many more opponents, so went professional in that. And then COVID happened, so after COVID, I've just got back into that and injured my hand. But yeah, I have a professional record, 3-1, and recently just fought for an Australian title. But unfortunately, that was my first split decision loss. So yeah, I'll bounce back from that and look to just continue that ball rolling for sure.
Nice. What would you say with the fighting? 3-1's mean as well. Awesome, by the way. Would you say like the fighting, because everyone looks at fighting when you're like, oh, you're a fighter, like you must be some tough bastard or something. What do you like find from the fight? Because obviously, I don't know, all like proper fighters, I don't look at people that are just going to go beat up people. Like they're the most like humble. I don't know. What do you find can get you going?
Yeah, again, like it's that mental challenge, but it's a sport where every day, you got to show up, especially to that, professional, you have to. And not even that, just the people that I surround myself around the gym. But yeah, like you said, I wouldn't consider myself by any means an aggressive person, or I don't like confrontation, I don't like fights, I'm the one to disperse it. But it is really just there's no challenge like it, to be honest. The one-on-one kind of thing, and just also the confidence that you can have you can look after yourself and things like that come with it. So it's just become a way of life, I suppose. But I love it. I seriously love it. So itching to get back in there.
No, that's epic. What would you say the most mentally tough part of the training? Is it like weight cutting, or what is it for you?
Yeah, not too bad. Like weight cutting for me is not too bad. I've done it a fair bit, so it's kind of becomes normal. But the struggle sort of mentally would be, again, it's similar to the days that you don't want to rock up to training. It's like, I'm knackered after work or whatever it may be, and just getting up, getting it done, and you feel like $1 million after, and you've actually got in there and done it. But there's that, and then obviously when you're deep in a fight and you don't know how it's going, you just got to dig deep, things like that. Like that definitely sticks to me for sure. Like my last fight, it was like third round, we're both in the absolute trenches, and it's who can pull it out the bag. Just firing yourself up and yeah, just the whole it's on you kind of thing. So yeah, man, I live for it.
Yeah, no, kudos to you, because like working full time, training, and then doing your running on the side, it's like what?
Yeah, it's quite busy.
Yeah. Did you want to touch on anything with the mental health stuff? So like any of the hardest times you went through with your runs or your fighting? You don't have to, it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I've always sort of I find that for me, keeping active helps my mental stay like in positive. So I'm always one to sort of be up doing something. But definitely on the runs, man, I wake up in the morning, whether some days like some of the hard days, and I'm absolutely knackered, and the first 5Ks, my mind is just like, sorry.
You're right.
My mind is just absolutely like screaming at me. I'm just like, what are you doing? This hurts. This sucks. It's cold. I don't want to be here. But again, just like waiting for that. Waiting for that corner turn. Because I knew like that the shift would come, and once I sort of got past the 5Ks, like it's a whole new look on the whole run. Like 10 minutes ago, I felt like I was gonna keel over, but now like it's a whole new life. So it definitely taught me to take one more step, keep pushing, and there's light at the end of the tunnel, no matter what it is.
Yeah, and I guess you definitely can relate that to life as well, eh? Like people could relate to everyday things, no matter what it be, work, sports, or whatever. But that's cool.
100%. And like I said, that's what I took from it. The lessons of the physically and mentally hard part of the run, but even if it's not physically, like in life, like it's the lessons that I learned that I will take with me for life.
Yeah. And what you said, you're only 22, eh? So you'd be motivating people that are like 50. So that's like epic in itself. But yeah,
that was awesome. I had like a friend of mine is, I think he said he's like in his 50s, but he would ride so many days. He'd come out on the bike, and even now today, like received a message from him like, trained last night, up this morning, going for a walk. Like he's like, you've lit a fire in me, and that's super fulfilling as well for me, being able to help others get up and feel and do the same. I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely. If you can motivate one person. I remember my coach sending me that, and I was going through a rut. And I was like, fuck, if he's out here every day doing a marathon, I can run a 20K long run. Like, get moving, bastard. But yeah. Well, if there's unless there's anything else you wanted to say, or any last words for people that might be struggling or need a bit of motivation, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, and absolutely. Thanks for having me on. And like definitely just touch on that. Man, you can always keep going. Physically, mentally, just keep pushing it. It gets really bloody tough, physically or mentally, and your body and your mind is absolutely screaming at you to stop. But there will be light, and when you find that light, it is the most fulfilling feeling. So I advise everyone, just keep pushing and just keep showing up, and then there's bright times ahead for everyone. So it's a pleasure to be on. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, cheers for sharing your wisdom and stuff, and I hope you light a fire in someone else on there. But cheers, Jack.
For sure. Thank you. Cheers.